hoping the Broncos still play this weekend.
When you do get a little uptick in the activity of it, you deal with it.
The fate of Sunday's game now in limbo after another Patriots player tests positive for COVID-19.
Not playing, nobody's getting paid.
If everybody is on the right page, hopefully we can play on Sunday.
And a Colorado congressman potentially exposes his staff to COVID-19. Plus, how much difference can one word make?
This just simply codifies that language. It's going to limit voting on all levels.
And we're looking into the ballot amendment that looks to make one simple change. We have details just in from CU Boulder. After 3 weeks of online classes, students will be back in the classroom next week. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Ann Trujillo. The news was shared just a couple of hours ago after Boulder County health officials announced they are easing restrictions on gatherings between 18 to 22-year-olds. So essentially, there are now 4 levels 18 to 22-year-olds will soon fall into. The lowest still limits students to just 2 people per group. However, if students hit certain COVID-19 metrics, those group sizes can increase from 4 people to 6, and then the usual gathering limit set by the state. Now, the county will look at positivity and testing rates among each specific age to determine what level everyone falls into. And now the health department hasn't said which specific level CU students fall under or if all students will fall under the same level.
And as for getting back on campus, this hybrid schedule of in-person online learning will kick off Wednesday with some new guidelines. Now, CU Athletics has just submitted a plan to the county health department to get the football team back on the field. The team is hoping to start practice on Friday. Pac-12 games are scheduled to begin next month. And also the Broncos are hoping they get to play this weekend.
Today, Patriots cornerback Stephon Gilmore tested positive for COVID-19. Of course, the Broncos are supposed to play in New England this Sunday.
Sports director Lionel Bienvenu joins us at 5. Everybody, including the Broncos, Lionel, are hopeful, optimistic they'll get to play this Sunday.
Yeah, guys, look, the game is on for now. 2:25 p.m. Sunday in Foxborough. But that could change over the next few days as Gilmore's test came back positive today and the Patriots canceled practice today. A league source did tell our Broncos insider Troy Rank they are constantly monitoring this situation. Gilmore, seen here Monday night, exchanging a hug with Patrick Mahomes. After the Chiefs beat the Patriots, Mahomes said he's now sleeping in a separate bedroom away from his pregnant fiancée. He's worried. Now, Pats quarterback Cam Newton tested positive last Saturday. He's out until he has 2 consecutive negative tests. So the Pats are in disarray, and the game is in doubt. The test results over the next few days, that'll determine if the Broncos travel to New England. Now, the league could push the game back, but Vic Fangio told us today, right now, they're moving forward as planned.
We're just confident here that the league, along with the players union, is going to handle everything correctly, but nothing has been done or said any way other than plan as normal.
Playing as normal. Also today, Drew Lock, helmet on, back at practice throwing the football, which is a great sign, but he was limited, did not take part in full team drills. So can he really be ready for Sunday? We don't think so. We'll have more on Drew and hear from Brett Rippon, the likely starter on Sunday, coming up on Denver7 Sports at 6.
Hard to keep up with. Lionel, thanks. We appreciate that. Also, the Colorado Rapids have again postponed a match after another staff member tested positive for COVID-19. So tonight's is the 3rd match in a row for the Rapids that has been delayed because of the virus. And another spike in cases in Colorado today. 731 people tested positive, so that brings the state total to just under 75,000. Also tonight, 369 people are hospitalized, and that's the highest number of beds in use since July. There are still, of course, thousands available.
And at least 2 staffers for Colorado Congressman Doug Lamborn have tested positive for COVID-19. This is according to sources who spoke anonymously to our partners at the Denver Post.
Denver7's Ivan Rodriguez down in the Springs trying to get answers from the congressman. As staffers claim, he told them not to get tested and keep on campaigning.
I'm standing right outside Congressman Lamborn's office. All day we've been trying to get in contact with him and his staff on why he hasn't been tested for COVID-19 despite his staffers testing positive. When you reach the front door of the congressman's office, you'll find a sign that reads, "Our office is currently closed until Monday, October 18th. However, the staff is still diligently working for you." This message falls in line with a statement Lamborn's staff sent Denver7 about their team working virtually for the next 2 weeks. They also say in part, Congressman Lamborn has been in contact with a physician with the attending physician's office for the U.S. House of Representatives. After giving detailed information to the office, including lack of symptoms, he was advised that he did not need to be tested or quarantined for COVID-19. His office refused to respond as to why the congressman chose not to be tested while still attending campaign events. When I asked El Paso County Republicans their thoughts, they told me they still had a campaign to run, and if people feel sick, they shouldn't attend any events. In a statement, El Paso County public health officials say in part, regarding this particular instance, this case does not fall within our jurisdiction. We also are not able to speak to specifics of any individual case, as this would be in violation of their privacy. Still few answers coming out of Lamborn's camp. They end with saying they'll continue following the doctor's advice as well as monitoring his health. In Colorado Springs, I'm Ivan Rodriguez, Denver7.
And in just the past hour, President Trump tweeted out a new video of himself standing on the White House lawn, calling it a blessing from God that he contracted coronavirus.
I think this was a blessing from God that I caught it. This was a blessing in disguise. I want everybody to be given the same treatment as your president, because I feel great.
And the president said he is working on making the experimental drug treatment he received from the company Regeneron free for all who are sick with COVID-19. Of course, again, experimental, so it's unclear when that would happen or how that would be funded. And despite still recovering from the virus, the president did leave the West Wing and return to the Oval Office today.
Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris debate tonight. Plexiglass barriers will be dividing the two, and you can watch it all live right here on Denver7. It starts at 7 o'clock. Of the 11 statewide November ballot initiatives, Amendment 76 has the shortest write-up in the Blue Book.
It asks to change one, yes, just one word in the Colorado Constitution. But as Denver7's political reporter Megan Lopez shows us, words can make a difference to both supporters and opponents of this amendment.
In life, words matter. What you say and the things you don't. A speech can sway a nation.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
A simple sentence can start a war.
Coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance.
But how much difference can a single word make? Amendment 76 asks voters to change the wording in the Colorado Constitution from saying every citizen to only a citizen of the United States who has attained the age of 18 can vote. Supporters of the change admit it's not a problem right now in Colorado.
Non-citizens currently don't have the right to vote.
But they worry about the future.
Because of the new way things are looked at today, citizenship is being expanded to people that are not citizens of the United States as to their ability to vote in elections.
So they say this will clear up any ambiguity in the Constitution. Opponents argue it's a waste of time and a voter suppression method.
76 passes, what it's going to do is it's going to open the door for limited voting, like voter ID requirements.
Last year, the Colorado Votes Act gave 17-year-olds who will be 18 by the general election the right to vote in primaries. Because of the way Amendment 76 is worded, opponents argue
it's going to immediately take away the ability for 17-year-olds to vote in primary elections should they be 18 by the time of the general election.
And that's a red herring. Amendment 76 doesn't disturb the age requirement to qualify as an elector. It has nothing to do with that, doesn't touch it.
The nonpartisan Blue Book analysis disagrees. There are also questions about whether this applies to cities or towns with home rule charter. So what's in a word? According to Amendment 76, a lot.
This just simply codifies that language and makes sure that everyone understands.
It's going to limit voting on all levels.
A single word whose fate rests in two others on your ballot, yes or no. Megan Lopez, Denver7.
And still ahead tonight, how do you want your ballot counted? We're taking a 360 look at the Electoral College and the popular vote. That is coming up tonight on Denver7 at 6.
Taking time off work to help his neighbors in need.
I don't care. I'll take 2-3 days. I know God is going to keep me more if I have people.
How one Denver man is making sure his neighbors get a meal every day during this pandemic.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Plus, the state's guidelines on Halloween are out. Don't worry, they're not too scary.
And Hurricane Delta already leaving damage behind before it heads to the U.S.
Warm and still smoky and hazy out there, but there's cooler and wetter weather on the way.